was a heart-wrenching call. It was a gentleman saying, the walls are coming in and things are very difficult and the debt has been mounting up, and he was looking for a bankruptcy referral. And, this is heart-wrenching, and I understand the need for bankruptcy. I believe in it. I believe people ought to be able to get a second chance at things. But as I inquired and asked questions, we realized that maybe bankruptcy wasn't the solution, right? So we talked about equity in the home. Is there equity in your home? He found out he owned another property, right? And he still had his job, but the mounting debt, he thought he had no other option. So we talked about home equity lines of credit, right? He has a good interest rate on his primary residence, and we talked about home equity lines of credit. Bob Terravecchia, Coastal Heritage, right? Cape Cod 5, St. Anne's Credit Union, right here at WATD. Easy, right? Make those applications. Takes your 28, 35% interest rate on credit cards down to a reasonable amount, and all of a sudden you're managing things. We also talked about his investment property with a DSCR loan, which is a new product that a lot of real estate investors are leaning into, and our friends across the street at Cross Country Mortgage specialize in. And that's a debt service coverage ratio loan, also known as a bank statement loan. Really limited underwriting. As long as you are a strong landlord, there's an option there. So there's a way to cash out your equity in the investment property and debt manage, right? So sometimes bankruptcy is the only solution, and we have folks that we can make those referrals to, folks that specialize in helping people through that process. However, sometimes that option isn't the one that is the best option, and there are other options. So having a call, having a chat, sometimes you think the world is coming to an end and that there's no way out, but let's work it through and have a conversation and introduce you to some of the folks that may be able to help.